Hello, and welcome to Math Made Easy with Mr. S, the YouTube channel dedicated to showing you that math really can be easy if you give your best effort and you're taught the right way. Today we're going to talk about collecting and combining like terms. Okay, and I put the slash right here for collecting and combining because it can be interchangeable. Sometimes it's called collecting like terms, sometimes it's called combining like terms. Either way, it means the same thing. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. So in order to collect like terms, we should probably know what they are. Okay, so like terms are any terms that have the exact same variable. Remember, variable is the letter that stands for a number. Okay, and they have to have the same exponent. Okay, so they have to have the same letter, and the letter has to have the same exponent to be considered like terms. Okay, only the coefficient can be different in like terms. So if you remember, coefficients are the numbers in front of the variable. So for example, if we have 6x, the coefficient is 6. So the number in front of the variable is the only thing that can be different when we're talking like terms. Okay, so here's some examples of what are and are not like terms. So if we had 3x and 7x, remember like terms have the same variable, okay, so they both have x, and they have to have the same exponent. These are both x to the first power, just x and x. So since they have the exact same variable, they're like terms. The 3 and the 7 in front have nothing to do with whether they're like terms or not. Okay, it's only the exponent and the variable that matter. Okay, so another example of ones that would be like terms, 5a squared, negative 2a squared. They both have a, they both have a to the second power. Same variable, same exponent means these are like terms. The 5 and the negative 2 have nothing to do with whether they are or not. Okay, on the other side of that, 4y and 4y squared. Okay, these both have y, but because one's y to the first power, one's y to the second power, they do not have the same variable and same exponent. These are not like terms. The 4's have nothing to do with if it's like terms or not. Okay, and then another example of a not like term is these ones just have different variables altogether. This one's an x, this one's a y, not like terms, you can't combine them, even if the 2's are the same. Okay, it's the variable and the exponent that matter if we're going to collect or combine them. Okay, so those are some examples of what are and what are not like terms. So when you are starting to combine or to collect like terms, you're starting to simplify. Your first step is to find like terms. Okay, find those variables and exponents that are the same. Once you do, remember you cannot combine different variables or different exponents. Okay, you can't put x with y, you can't put x with x squared, they have to be exactly the same. So once you identify their like terms, you just add or subtract the coefficients and then keep the variable the same. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean by that right now. Because here's a basic example of combining or collecting like terms. We want to simplify 4x and 3x. So when I look at this, I see x to the first, x to the first. That means 4x and 3x are like terms. They have the exact same variable, exact same exponent. Since they do, we're going to add the coefficients together. We're just going to do 4 plus 3 to get 7. So you add the coefficients, but the variables stay the same. Okay, so if you want to picture it, you have 4 apples in one hand, 3 apples in the other hand. You push them together, you have 7 apples total. Okay, your apples do not change into oranges or watermelons when you add them together. Same thing happens on this. If I have 4 x's plus 3 x's, I have 7 x's altogether. That's a basic combining or collecting like terms example. Okay, let's get a little bit trickier. Now we have 3 terms. So remember, when you simplify, when you combine like terms, you look for the same variable, same exponent. So on these 3 terms, the 9a and the negative 2a go together. They both have a to the first power. Those are like terms. So we add the coefficients. Now, one very important thing we need to remember to get these correct is the sign in front of the number goes with the number. Okay, this is not 9 plus 2a. This is actually 9 plus negative 2, or 9 minus 2 if you want to look at it that way. It's a positive 9 and a negative 2 going together. So we actually have 7a when we combine those like terms. Okay, because it's 9 and negative 2, or 9 minus 2. And then we have this plus 5 at the end. It does not have an a, which means it is not a like term. We cannot put it into this 7a. 7a and 5 can't go together, so all we do is write it at the end. So our simplified expression would be 7a plus 5. Okay, 7a and 5 cannot be combined. They do not have the same variable because this one doesn't have any variable at all. Okay, so that would be my simplified expression. Okay, going a little bit tougher. Now we got 4 terms to put together. Okay, so when we're going to combine these 4 terms, again, I look for what ones have the same variable and same exponent. So I start and I see a 5x and a plus 2x. Those are both x to the first power. We're going to add those together. Okay, so 5x plus 2x just gives me 7x's altogether. 5 plus 2 is 7. Then I take my plus 3y and my minus 1y, okay, or 3 minus y, and I put those together. So this is really just 3y minus 1y. So we just do 3 minus 1 to get 2. So we have 2y. So then my simplified expression would just be 7x plus 2y. And I know it's plus 2y because this is a positive 2. Okay, if it was a minus 2 or a negative 2 when you combine like terms, you'd have 7x minus 2y. But I just add my x's together, add my y's together. There's my simplified expression. Remember, we cannot put x and y together, so we can't do anything else with this example. Okay, next one, we've got an 8m squared and a minus 3m squared and a plus m. So I look for my like terms. On my like terms, my variables and exponents that are the same are these m squareds. Okay, m squared goes with m squared, but it doesn't go with m to the first power. So all we're going to do on this example is put our m squareds together. So 8m squared, negative 3m squared, or 8 plus negative 3 is 5. Or 8 minus 3 is 5. That means we have 5m squared when we simplify. And then we have this plus m, which cannot combine with m squared. M squareds and m's are different. So all we can do with this is tack it on to the end. And since I can't combine those, that becomes my final simplified expression. 8m squared minus 3m squared plus m just becomes 5m squared plus m. Okay, I hope that helps kind of simplify or makes collecting or combining like terms a little bit more understandable. Okay, it's basically just look for that same variable, same exponent, put those together, and then just write it as a simplified expression. There's no number answer on these. We're just looking for what would it be when you simplify. Okay, so as always, do not give up. If this doesn't make sense, go back and rewatch, follow along more carefully, write some examples down if you need to. Okay, find some examples to do on your own, make up some, and see if you can figure out how to combine those like terms. Okay, but it's a real simple process if you understand what you're looking for and that you understand the number and sign go together. Okay, so an 8m minus a 3m, or an 8m minus 3m means 8m and a negative 3 when you put it together, like we did in that last example. But don't give up. Keep trying. Keep giving your best effort. Math really can be easy. Okay, and if you found this video valuable, please like it, subscribe, share, comment. Okay, share with your friends, share with anybody you know. Help them to also discover that math really can be easy if you take the time to learn it. Hey, and in the comments, give me feedback. What was good? What wasn't good? What do you want? What would you like to see me cover next? And I will read those comments and make adjustments. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, have a great day and be good to each other. See you next time.